Yo, what is cracking, everybody? We're almost there. Now, what you're thinking? What do you mean almost there? It's like Tuesday. But y'all know how I feel about my Wednesdays. So I'm excited that it's like a Friday to my Wednesday, even though it's a Tuesday. I know I'm over here jacking y'all up. It's just because I'm discombobulated, and I'm excited because we got a special guest, ladies and gentlemen. But before I get to that, yo, what's cracking, everybody? Welcome to GeekBeast. This is your rundown of geek news from geeks that look like me, geeks that look like you, and geeks that look like these amazing, beautiful people that are surrounding me. One of them, Courtney Wright, ladies and gentlemen. You see how I had to say that, right? Because you have to say it like that because she is amazing. She's a writer and actress she's done small productions and directed all kinds of things, and she's a cosplayer, and she is a geek to the 10th degree and absolutely worthy to be a part of GeekBeast. Courtney, what's going on with you?
Thank you. It is amazing to be knighted with so many amazing accolades. I appreciate you. Hi, people.
Oh, man. Yo, in case you haven't noticed, she is also a part of the Geekish Network. She is a part of one of my absolute favorite shows, Binge-Worthy. I am going to be a little slightly partial to Binge-Worthy, but she's also one of the co-hosts on, Origins Illustrated, one of the amazing trios of fantastic women who know everything there is to know about the comic book world. And of course, we got the Black Lion himself, Hannibal from the A-Team. This man does not even need an introduction because you already know who he is. Yo, Chuck, what's cracking, baby? What's going on with you?
What it do? I'm out on vacation. I'm a hot boy spring. Yeah, hot boy spring. Hot boy spring. That's right.
Yeah, man. Look at you over here taste testing the variety of pollen that's in the air, boy. I can't live your life.
I'm bringing the pollen.
Okay, we gotta watch you. Don't be out there bringing back old man Freaknik.
Yeah, because you got bad knees, dog. You need to chill out.
I know it. I gotta ask Meg Thee Stallion who's her surgeon. He works on those knees.
Yeah, I do worry about like low key. I do worry about it. I mean, not that I'm saying that the dancing is bad. I'm just like, when you get about 40, 45, your knees are gonna be a wrap. Like you doing some athletic stuff up in there.
It's not even the knees. It's the not tipping over backwards and falling over. Cause it's like I think you can get down, but for me, I was like, I get down, like, oh, hey, play it off like I'm meant to do that.
The gravity pulling you down is the easy part.
Exactly.
The gravity pulling you down when you're trying to get up is the hard part.
Yes, when you play it off like, hey, no, I'm gonna need you to take this hand. I'm gonna need you to take my hand and help me up.
Save me, please. Hey, listen, if you're new to the show, we cover the Geek News Beat. We share our opinions with you. As you can see, we are highly melanated up in here, and that's what our opinions are going to be. That goes along with the geek space. Highly melanated. It's going to be tons of fun. Hey, as we cover this Geek News Beat, it is not to be vetted. This is strictly for entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are like gathering around the water cooler and be like, yo, GeekBeast said this, and it comes out not exactly the way we said it, that's on you because we told you this is strictly for entertainment. All right, speaking of entertainment.
Facts of our opinion.
Geek is in the title, so.
Facts of our opinion. These opinions are facts.
Now, speaking of facts, the three of us are pretty good fans of Star Trek for the most part. Now we may have different factions of Star Trek that we enjoy or like more than the other, but overall speaking, it's a shared love. What if I were to tell you that one of the series, Picard, may have like a reunion of a sorts with the whole next generation? Let's see, maybe some questioning looks, a little bit of like, no, a little bit of like discontent. No.
Well,
I see. I mean, I'm okay to seeing him, but I see him in commercials right now for Star Trek, the mobile game. They're in on the Star Trek mobile game commercials. And some people don't hold up.
That.
Yeah, they Star Trek mobile game commercials.
Father Time is tough on a lot of people, including myself, so I can understand how some of our former stars are going to look a little bit different.
But I would love to see them together. I mean, that's one of my favorite casts, right?
Okay, real quick though. Centel, when you shave off your beard, sir, there is no one that would know your age. So I don't want to hear that. You can't really say Father Time has been mean to you. But in terms of Picard, from what I hear, William Shatner is aging amazingly because he is like just turned 90 and apparently looks 65. That's the word on the street because he frequents around my area at one particular restaurant. Yes. And one of my friends was like, that's William Shatner. Girl, he looked good. I was like, okay. But
that's space Botox. Space Botox.
Space Botox. You know what I'm saying? All that time in the holodeck. Yep. But I'm excited to see Mr. Wolf because we never see Mr. Wolf or Geordie LaForge. We never see the black folks. We always see Riker. Is that his name? That's his name, right? You know, like he's the number one.
Number one. Yes.
Yeah, he's number one. We always see him and we always see Picard. Why don't we get to see the melanated friends?
Well, Geordie has a Star Trek commercial.
Whoopi is she's in Picard season 2.
She's in it.
Oh, she's already in it.
She's in it. Yeah, she's recurring, but her character has had a really cool re-entry into this new Star Trek situation. I'm excited to see. Here's the thing. It's hard for me to say because normally I'm not with the rebooting. But given where the trajectory of Picard season 2 is going, and I'm not going to say much more than that, it makes sense that we're heading toward that collective of time.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay, that's interesting. Well, let me add a little bit of context for some of the viewers that may be just now bouncing in. This is going to be this next season. The third one is going to be Picard's final season, and they are planning they're planning to reunite some of the Next Generation cast. So that means Geordie LaForge, who's played by LeVar Burton, Worf by Michael Dorn, William Riker, Beverly Crusher, Data, of course, Deanna Troi. You couldn't tell me nothing about Deanna Troi back in the day. Though my little man crush. Will once again be reunited with the former captain, Jean-Luc Picard, to boldly go where no one has gone before. I need to see some deaths if this is going to be interesting. I need to see somebody get off. So that's my question to you real quick. If somebody had to go, who got to go?
If one person had to go?
At least one out of what we just mentioned.
Data has to go. His battery has to run
out. So
Data's battery.
That tells me you have not watched season 1 of Picard.
No.
No, I haven't either. Okay. Well, now the way you said that has actually made me interested in it a little bit now.
Don't say nothing else.
That's all I said.
Okay.
Who would you cancel? Who would you eject out of the space deck?
I want Worf to go out like an OG. Like an OG, though. I want him to go out on his sword, like on some diehard Klingon stuff, you know.
Not Mr. Wolf.
Yeah, man, I don't want Mr. Worf shouldn't die in his rocking chair watching the sunset. He's a Klingon.
That's true.
That is a good point. That is a good point. That's a solid point.
That's true.
Who would I? Oh goodness.
That's a tough one, right? There's so many beloved ones.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably gonna say Picard. I want to see. I would murk Picard.
Wow.
Because he's already a legend. You know what I'm saying? There's they always bring captains back. You know what I'm saying? Like they always die and then they come back. So this is the final season of Picard. Picard has one last stand where he has to like really save the day. And I say this because knowing that y'all have not seen season 1, but you've seen every other Star Trek property where there's a captain in danger, he always finds a way to survive. And I would like to see Sir Jean-Luc take one for the team.
Jean-Luc. Okay, I'm not mad at that. That's good TV.
Okay.
That's good TV. All right. Okay. So to kind of like go off the beaten path just for like a hot bit, Court, you got a chance to stretch your legs out at WonderCon this past weekend. Did you see any Star Trek-ish nostalgia? kind of walking around there, or like, tell us how that weekend looked just in general.
The weekend was just amazing to be back there. I'm not gonna lie, because I went to the small Comic-Con in November, which was like a couple of days, and it was just sad news bears. You know what I mean? Like it was just really sparse, and it didn't feel like Comic-Con. So it kind of hurt my heart a little bit. But this WonderCon was like a resurgence. It was an opportunity to see all people dressed up in like crazy costumes, that great cosplays. I didn't see any really cool like Star Trek cosplays, but I did see a great X-Men cosplay. I saw one of the best Jubilees I think I have ever seen. She slayed, and it was OG Jubilee that we grew up with like the
brown coat and the glasses.
The gold with the glasses that had the slap. Yo, and she had like the mohawk it was perfection. She had like the kicks and everything. I was like, girl, you did that. So I did see some really fun costumes, like there was more DC and a lot of Marvel and just your basic Star Trek, but I appreciated them being there. I think I got I got knocked down almost by Juggernaut. Juggernaut slayed. He legit was the cosplay was a good like almost 7 feet. 6.5, 6,
wow.
6, it was like 6'6", and his Juggernaut was like, he was massive, and he like turned to the side and he cold clocked me. Not gonna lie, cold clocked me, and I was like, oh. He was like, and he had to turn his whole body to see me. I'm so sorry. I didn't see you there. Respect, sir. I understand, and I am not mad.
Yeah,
it was my fault for being there in the way.
Nice.
So
I respect that.
Did you try to run through any walls?
No, no, he didn't. But he was mainly just trying to get free stuff. He was trying to get some free stuff, and I think he was succeeding too.
Yeah.
But But the panels weren't as exciting as I would have liked them to be, because I do still think a lot of creatives are a bit apprehensive because masks were encouraged on the floor, but they weren't like mandated. But people did have to be vaccinated or show a paper. But it was wonderful to be there. I enjoyed myself. I bought way too many things. One of the things being, and then we're gonna move on. So y'all know I'm a Marvel fan, right? Yes. The scene in Endgame when when Ant-Man says, "That is America's ass." Yo, why did they have some yoga shorts with a little Captain America shield on them that said, "This is America's ass"?
You bought them.
You know I did.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. Yeah,
I sure did.
I mean,
and I got another one that
those
said,
cons, you find classics like that.
You find amazing things. One that said, I got some other yoga shorts that said, "A Jedi in the streets and the Sith in the sheets."
Nice. Yeah. Yeah.
Funny. They had some really funny things, but yeah, it was good to be there.
Well, some of these shows like Comic-Con and WonderCon, the times they are changing, we are witnessing some of that change. And sometimes we start to see maybe the writing on the wall and change regarding things that involve tech. Yesterday, we had a little shocking discourse regarding Elon Musk actively purchasing some shares of Twitter, and we were like, man, we don't know how this is going to like really go. Well, today the news is continuing in these worlds of change. Elon Musk has updated the paperwork on his shocking Twitter purchases to avoid extra SEC drama. But that headline isn't the thing that's most surprising. It's the fact that Musk is becoming a board member, and that news raised eyebrows because it suggests a much more active role, which is requiring filing a more detailed section of that form regarding his stock purchases. How are we feeling about this? It seems like he's gaining a lot of control over arguably the fastest news source on the planet. Well, not news source, but communication source. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. Social is the fastest social networking platform on the planet. There we
go. Yeah, it's more like communal news. That's kind of how I feel, because it's like it's an opportunity to really connect with each other about what is happening in the space. I think it's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, he's the single largest shareholder of the company now, right?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yes.
he's the single largest shareholder.
With 9% makes him the largest shareholder, more than Jack Dorsey?
I don't know. Probably so. Jack probably off his stock. I mean, he bought 73 million shares of the stock.
I could have swore he did sell his stock like last year, right? Like recently, right?
Yeah,
It looks like a recent thing.
Yeah, he's like, I'm out. You know, I'm living in Africa.
That's right, he did.
Big beard. I'm living in Africa with my big beard.
So with money and that type of percentage of ownership of the company could come possibly a lot of power regarding how the company is run. The company has stated that they won't give Tesla CEO Elon Musk special treatment on the platform after earning a seat on the board. And so in a statement to Verge, the spokesman Adrian Zamora said that the platform is committed to impartiality in the development and enforcement of its policies and rules, implying that Musk will be subject to the same Twitter rules as everyone else. In other words, Twitter could likely still ban and suspend Musk if need be. Now, this is more or less hinting towards him saying whatever he wants on the platform and not necessarily doing what he wants with the company in general. There's the rumor mill going around stating that, Chuck, I think you brought this up regarding maybe reinstating Trump as a part of that. I mean, I know that's not a big part of moving the company, but go ahead.
Yeah, he brings Trump back. There's rumors. I think Rodney brought it up, or Courtney.
Okay.
It was
okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was a possibility, given the fact that you know, and I know I don't know if he's considered Voldemort to mention, but you know, his app, his social app didn't really seem to do very well in its opening days, so that could be a huge that could be a possibility that I hope does not take root. Especially given the fact that, you know, it also in that article, or in a separate article, it talked about how, you know, given what was it about the SEC and how people were questioning whether or not Elon Musk's purchase of this stock had anything potentially to, in hope, shield him from SEC scrutiny. That, at least that's how I understood what the article I interpreted it. I could have misinterpreted. GeekSpace, don't come for me. But that is what I was concerned about. I was like, oh, I mean, not that, you know, we got a whole lot of chips in the bag and skin in that game in terms of the SEC, but
right.
I mean, I think it's a real question. I'm like, what you doing over there? What you doing over there, Elon?
Right. There's
you had a secret baby. Why are you not over there worrying about that secret baby you don't have?
I mean, kind of, you know, maybe he's having the Tom Brady effect. He's realizing family might be a responsibility that he's not ready for. So he's coming back to work, and he's coming back to work buying Twitter stocks like Tom Brady's going back to work doing footballs.
Is that your reason? Is that your hot take?
that's my hot take. Listen, do not repeat that at the water cooler. That's what I'm saying. Don't get
I believe that. I like Tom Brady's coming out of retirement because he realized he married a beautiful woman that he doesn't want to be married to anymore.
He's in retirement, let me go to football. 3 hours.
That way.
They told him to take out the trash 2 times too many. Take out the trash. I've got 6 rings.
Daddy, he hit me. Daddy, I said I need this. Daddy, are you gonna play with me? I'm coming back to work.
Yeah.
Yo,
He thought he had to win.
Speaking of people coming back to work off of old projects that a lot of people forgot about, Robert Downey Jr. might be bringing back Sherlock Holmes TV. He's possibly bringing back a Sherlock Holmes TV universe to HBO Max. So, but he's the thing is that he may not necessarily be playing the main character. So the former Holmes actor is set to executive produce 2 new Sherlock Holmes universe series that are in early development at HBO Max. Are we excited that he's not acting? Not excited, or more excited about him putting the producer's hat? Like, how do you feel about this?
I'm excited that he's putting on a producer's hat because there's rumors around this meal. And one of the rumors is Reggae John Page said he would love to play Sherlock Holmes, and it's not written out of his cards. And Reggae John Page played the Sherlock Holmes that Robert Downey Jr. was. It'd be dope. I'd be in
only if Guy Ritchie is associated.
Yeah,
Because
right.
Guy Ritchie directed that Sherlock Holmes series. He directed both of them. They were his baby. So if Guy Ritchie, the only reason you got that like
that look,
fab, suave Sherlock is because of Ritchie. So if he's involved along with Robert Downey Jr., then sweet.
Maybe. Yeah, you got to kind of have like one with the other. Now, let's not get your hopes up too much for my diehard Downey Jr. fans, because the two new series are only in early development at the moment, and it's still very possible that HBO Max doesn't choose to move forward with them. Because as we've seen a million times before, just because it's talked about it on one of these platforms doesn't mean that it's going to really come to light. Bad Boys 4.
Well, that's not Bad Boys' fault.
A little self-inflicted. Could be. We'll see.
It's just on hold.
It's on hold.
Yeah.
And it's two projects too. It's not just Bad Boys. It's another one as well.
Yeah, it's not just Bad Boys.
Yeah.
Well, his biopic that was, Netflix and Apple TV were vying for the rights they are no longer vying for those rights.
It seems like must-see TV for me. I mean, it seems like it would sell, right? Like maybe you.
You think that would add on to the bio,
right?
I would have raised my bid. I would have been like, I want to give it to me.
They say that
Netflix dropped
HBO
out.
Max
I'm going to go ahead and take that.
They say that HBO Max snatches him up, and they like, oh my God, he blows up because everybody loves him. He defended his woman, and as he's the king of the world again. America is so fickle. They just like drama. America's super fickle.
You just don't know. All right, so let's add a little bit of a little more levity and humor to this. So the Muppets Mayhem. So Taj Mowry joins Lily Singh for Disney Plus comedy series. I don't really know a whole lot about Muppets Mayhem, but I do love the Muppets, and of course, I'm a huge fan of Jim Henson. Is this must-see TV for you, Chuck?
No, it's Muppets, man. Of course it is. Of course it is. I think Muppets Mayhem is going to be with Dr. Teeth and Electric Mayhem Circus is his band. So this may be
Dr. Teeth and the electric. Okay, yeah, the band.
As long as Janice is there.
Yeah.
Janice is my favorite.
Of course, Janice gonna be there. Janice rocked the last Muppet shows they had.
Janice, Janice, you talk like this. You never opened her eyes. An animal.
That she was high.
Well, yeah, I mean, all of them are pretty much on something, right? Like, Animals definitely on some coke. We can pretty much surmise that. Janice is on some weed.
Like, people care to forget the Muppets were not written for children; they were for adults. It was adult entertainment in the evening, and all of a sudden it turned into children's TV for the mornings. But it was adult entertainment. I mean, what child is listening to Marvin Gaye sing love songs, or Janis Joplin, or Lena Horne? Kids didn't know who Lena Horne was. Kids listened to Michael Jackson when the Muppets came out.
That is a very good point. That is a very good point.
Vaudeville show.
I think that I know I watch it. The Great Muppet Caper is still in my top 5 films. I'm not gonna lie. I did a rewatch on the anniversary, the 25th anniversary. I think it was 25. At the movie theaters, it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing to see it on the big screen. So I will absolutely watch it. I did think it was really funny or interesting that you said you thought that it was going to be an adult animated series, this Mayhem, because I mentioned earlier to you guys, I went on WonderCon. On the badge, it had Diabolique. The one that is the boys animated spinoff, the ones the 15-minute episodes.
Yes.
So my nephew saw my badge and he was like, "Ooh, what's this cartoon? I want to watch it." And I was like, you can't really watch that one. Why not? He's a cartoon. He is, but this is for grown-ups. He is funny for grown-ups. No, he looks like Superman. That's Homelander. It's not Superman. You can't really like explain this to kids. So if it is like, you gotta have some strong parental controls if that is an animated series. It's the Muppets. Why can't I watch the Muppets?
I'm gonna tell you how adult the Muppet Show is. Its second pilot, the second episode of the Muppets. The first one's called The Muppets Valentine's Show. It was about Valentine's. The second one was called Sex and Violence.
Really?
Really?
The second title of the second episode was called The Muppets Show Sex and Violence.
Now the original Muppets was like.
I'm sorry. You were thinking it.
You just but I wasn't expecting that. You threw me off. So the original series came out in the late 70s, correct? Late 70s, right?
And then it
didn't
actually came in 74 to 75.
Oh, so it was like the mid 70s. Okay.
Mid 70s, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I knew that.
The show I'm talking about, Miss Piggy actually parodies Planet of the Apes, and she falls into a Twilight Zone episode called The Eye of the Beholder. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's ahead of its time.
Then we had Dr. T and Electric Mayhem make their debut. So the Muppets Mayhem sounds amazing to me.
Sure. Why not?
I mean, that whole band in and of itself they say some inappropriate things. Things that are not meant for children. Even in the Great Muppet Caper. The whole Great Muppet Caper, the fact that Charles Grodin, the things that he was saying to Miss Piggy. I'm like, that is not. I don't. Ooh,
it's not.
Let me cover.
That could be also a sign of the times as well, though.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Go ahead. That's why I can't wait for this Jim Henson biography that Disney Plus is doing. They're gonna explore all of Jim Henson. It's gonna be wild.
Yeah, and the type of shrooms he enjoyed, because I'm sure he had to be on some type of psychedelics for some of the stuff he's been coming up with.
Muppets, mature puppets.
I had to learn how to puppeteer for one of my many jobs in the history of me, and it is not easy. It is not easy, and we had an opportunity to go to Jim Henson Studios because we were training to be puppeteers. We got to go there, and they have a comedy night, which they do the Muppets for adults. And it's like going to a stand-up comedy show, except it's like Muppets. They're like working on their stick and they're doing it for all adults. And it is amazing in order to get into this show and watch and they have them on this raised platform. So you're really only seeing the Muppets. And then when, the sketch is done, like they'll reveal the curtain and you get to see the puppeteers under the table doing their thing. Like, it's real dope. It's set up like a cotton club. Like it's legit set up like a club, like a speakeasy. It's so hot. It's so much fun in there.
I'm looking at that right now. Muppet Comedy Show.
See?
Why haven't I not ever been invited?
Right?
I would go every week.
You have to get invite. You have to know somebody or get the invite.
I'm about to find out who.
And when you do, we need to go back because they serve drinks. Like it's a full club. It's a fantastic time.
You didn't want to stay a puppeteer. You could have stayed a puppeteer.
I would have loved to. I just didn't honestly, I needed more time for training and they needed me to be faster. So they made me the human. They made me the human in the show as opposed to one of the puppeteers. And I was very sad.
Well, anything that that went above your expectations regarding being a puppeteer, or anything like, I don't know, just anything insightful that would be like slightly interesting in your path of becoming a puppeteer?
It's really interesting how children just forget that there is an adult. Like if you don't, sans being on a stage, if you're sitting with a child and you have a puppet and you're working the puppet, even though they could see your mouth working, you are not there. They are solely looking at that puppet and having a full-on conversation. So I had to that is the best improv training I have ever had in order to have a full-on conversation with a child as a puppet, as a Muppet. So it's really surreal, like watching kids be mesmerized by these, fictional little creatures that we are pretending to be. So yeah. And it's really difficult to get the mouth with your words at the same time.
I can only imagine. I bet that's definitely a mental muscle that you'd have to learn in order to get really good. But that is fascinating. That's actually a really good note for us to actually close this out on. I love closing our shows out on a good note, and nothing makes you smile like Muppets and Puppets.
Now you got a new title to add to Courtney: Puppeteer.
Puppeteer. Yo, because the resume is incredible. Like I had to roll that bad boy out like I was like calling out Caesar's name. That bad boy roll. Okay. Hey, so that is going to conclude the new segment of our show today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Huge shout out to Miss Courtney Wright. You can catch her on Origins Illustrated. You can catch her on Bingeworthy. You can catch her on TV, ladies and gentlemen. She's just a spectacular talent all the way around. And it's always a joy to have you on the show. GeekBeast is now on podcast form as well. So if you missed our live streams, don't worry, you can catch us on your phone through Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You like any of your podcast and streaming services. I promise you, you're on it. Just make sure you give a thumbs up on that. Because we got to massage these algorithms. And speaking of massaging these algorithms, if you're on YouTube right now and you haven't already clicked that subscription button, what are you doing? Click that boy. Give us a thumbs up. Even if you're on Facebook, thumbs up as well. All those little things help move us a little bit forward and makes us a little bit more popular with your help. Hey, if you are an old school, cat that's been with us since day one and you've been on the Twitch stream, it is still there as well. We're running special projects on it. Everything from game streams to charity streams to potentially Dungeons and Dragons streams and a million other cool little things. And you can use your Amazon Prime account because I know you have an Amazon Prime account because we're in the time of the pandemic and everybody has Amazon Prime. You can easily link that account to us using Prime Gaming. It costs you nothing, but it helps us out tremendously. Of course, the voice in the sky, Rodney, for helping produce all of this. My man Defunct for help curating all this amazing content. You make this job so tremendously easier because of the efforts that you put in. It is absolutely appreciated. Thank you so much. Let's see who else we got. We got Digital Click that's making us look pretty with all the graphic design and the marketing that they do for us. We choose them. That means you should choose them too because we are actively showing you that they work. Please give them a ring. Hey, Monday, tomorrow is a bit of a pause, so you will see us here again regarding GeekBeast, and then next week you'll be able to check out Courtney as well. Excuse me, on Origins Illustrated coming up next Tuesday. Hey, big boss man, the other half of this amazing production crew. My man Chuck, what you got to say to the happy people?
Peace out. Have a good night.
Hey, God bless. We out.